Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got some super fun and easy gingerbread home decor pieces I'm going to share with you today. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I show you how. And be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Okay, for this one, we're going to make a 19-inch gingerbread man, and I've given you the pattern, and you're going to have to print it out on it comes out on 6 sheets of paper. Then you're going to tape it together, and you'll be able to see where it overlaps. Just make sure that you kind of line it up and get it good. There's going to be some gaps in here, and you're going to have to draw those back in, but you'll be able to see pretty clearly how to put this piece together. And it'll print out on 6 pieces of paper on your printer too. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and draw our lines in here to kind of connect all the rest of it. And then we're going to go ahead and cut it out and then pin it down to your fabric. Now I'm using a kind of a furry fleece. I think it's called a teddy bear fleece. I got it at Joann's. But just go ahead and cut your pattern out, and then we're going to take the 2 sides and put the facing sides together. Just make sure you get this part lined up real well, and then we're going to go ahead and pin it together. Now, we're not going to sew this. We're going to glue it. Now, we do have some stitches at the very end that we're going to have to hand stitch, but primarily this is going to be glue gun. Then we're going to take each pin out, and we're just going to go around the very edge right there and just try to use a little bit of glue. You don't have to use a lot of glue. Just a little bit of glue goes a long way. And then you do want to let your glue completely dry before you turn it right side out. And then we're going to leave that section open right there. So right on that one side of the leg, leave that open. Do not glue that. That's how we're going to turn it right side out. Then just reach right up inside of there and start turning it inside out. And then we're going to start stuffing it. We're going to go up into the head first, and we're just going to really put as much stuffing as you want, but you want to get it pretty full. And if you find some places that you didn't glue that ended up not gluing, go ahead and touch it up right here. Okay, then we're going to take this one, turn it right side out like this, and we're going to start gluing as much as we can that we can actually hold in our hands. Just kind of take your time on this because this fabric is stretchy, so you can stretch it pretty well. But just get up close to the edge as you can because you want to have more of the gingerbread man with less glue. But try to get that curved area right there so that you don't have as much stitching to do. Then turn it right side out, and then go ahead and fill up that cavity with some stuffing, and then we're going to hand stitch the thing closed. And it doesn't have to be perfect stitching. This fabric was pretty forgiving. I didn't even try to hide my stitches. They completely hid. So get a thread that's the same color as your fabric. And you can use any fabric you want. You could use any kind of fleece, but you want to make sure you use some kind of a stretchy fabric. Then go ahead and tie a knot at the end of your thread, and then just go ahead and start just stitching it up. And kind of pull it as tight as you can because you want those stitches closed well. And then go ahead and close up the very last part of it, and then go ahead and tie your string off. Okay, next I'm just going to take some white rickrack that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to wrap it around the legs and the arms. And start in the inseam on this, and then go around the outside of the leg, and then end in the inseam as well. And you're going to do that for the other leg and both of the arms. Next, I'm just going to tie a ribbon right around his neck, and then I'm going to tie it off in a bow. Kind of squeeze it in there so you do have a definition between his head and his body. Next, I'm just going to take 3 little 1/2-inch pom-poms, white pom-poms, and I'm just going to attach them right down the front of his body. Next, I took 2 little 1/2-inch black pom-poms, and I'm just attaching them to his face for his eyes. Then I took a mouth, I cut it out, and I give you the pattern for this in the description below, and we're just going to glue it in. And I just cut this out of black felt. And then next, I decided to add him some little eyebrows, and I'm just going to freehand cut these out and attach them right above each one of his eyes. I thought he turned out super cute for a little gingerbread man that you didn't have to have a sewing machine to make. Let me know what you think in the comments below. He really was still real soft. Today is our Holly Jolly Christmas collaboration with Linda, Wendy, and Emily. We have a lot of Christmas crafting for you, so be sure and check out the playlist below. Go check out these ladies. I know that you will love them. They are super talented. Okay, now for the girl gingerbread, you're going to just go ahead and do the body exactly the same, and then I'm going to take a piece of string and I'm going to wrap it around the neck and tighten it up. And it doesn't matter what kind of string you use because you are going to cover this up with some rickrack here in a second. Just want to kind of cinch it in a little bit to give her a little bit more definition between the body and the head. And then I'm just going to take some white rickrack and wrap it around the neck. I got this little ruffled trim at Hobby Lobby in the ribbon department, and I'm just going to wrap it around to make a skirt. Now, if you can't find this at Hobby Lobby, you can just gather up a little piece of fabric and make your own skirt. But this one was already pre-made. And you do want to make sure that you do glue all the way around the waistband. Okay, then I'm taking some ribbon, and I'm just going to give her some little suspenders. And you can use any kind of ribbon that you want. This one wasn't made to match that, but I found some that was just red and white checked at Hobby Lobby that worked. And even though this was a completely glued project, it really wasn't stiff. I mean, it was still like a nice fluffy pillow. I'm just going to take some of that same ribbon. I'm going to make a bow to put on her head. Next, I'm going to take 2 little red buttons, and I'm just going to attach it right where her suspenders and her dress meet. I'm just going to go ahead and attach her bow right to the side of her head. Okay, then I'm going to give her the same little eyes I gave the little gingerbread man, and then I'm going to cut some little eyelashes out to put on top. And I'm just taking a piece of craft foam and just cutting like 6 little slits in it. And I'm going to put these right behind her eyes. Now I'm going to cut a little V out of the bottom to hold it together so that I can glue that together to open those up. Just kind of squeeze that open and that'll stay open. And then we're going to just attach them right behind her eyes. And then just go ahead and glue them on. We're just going to give her the same little mouth we did the little gingerbread man. And again, I've given you the link to the pattern for that in the description below. And I actually did some eyes too in both SVG and PDF. And then we're going to put some little pom-poms right down the front of her dress just like we did the little gingerbread man. Okay, the little gingerbread girl turned out super cute. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know which one of these is your favorite today. Okay, for this next one, we're going to make a gingerbread Christmas tree. I got that at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just using some fleece that's in a tan color. And I'm just going to take this to the side and roll it up. Just make sure that you get enough on one side to go all the way from the top to the bottom of your cone. And then we're just going to go ahead and roll it. And just make sure your edge is straight when you start on the top and the bottom. And then we're just going to roll it all the way around till we have the connection point there. And then we're just going to come back and draw a line right where that seam was. So just take your pencil and run it right along the edge of there just to draw your line where we're going to cut. And we're going to cut with a little rotary cutter. And just going to go from the tip all the way down to the bottom. And use a ruler because it does help with the rotary cutter. You can get your edge pretty straight with that. Okay, next we're just going to roll it up to that point, and we're just going to put some glue down one side just to glue it down. You don't have to finish out the edge because we are going to cover it up with some rickrack. Okay, next we're just going to go ahead and trim the bottom out, and you want to make sure you have enough overhang to tuck it up inside of that cone. And we're just going to go ahead and glue that in. And to cover up that seam, we're just going to take some rickrack starting at the bottom all the way up to the top, just gluing it over that seam. Next, I'm going to take some rickrack and go all the way around the bottom of this, and I'm coming up probably about an inch from the bottom. Just kind of watch it as you're going around just to make sure that you do get it even. Mine got a little bit off kilter a little bit, but just try to make sure you try to make it as even as you can because we're going to start layering things up onto it, and you want to make sure that your lines are straight. Next, I got these little ornaments on Amazon, and I'm just cutting the little tip off where you actually thread them and put them on your tree. And I'm just going to start with some E6000 glue and some hot glue, and I'm going to start attaching them to the bottom. And I ended up putting 6 of them, so kind of just make sure that you are spending some time to get them evenly spaced. My next row, I'm just going to come back above them, and I'm going to add another row of rickrack. So I got these little peppermint faux candies on Amazon, and I'm just putting one above each one of the gingerbread men. Just going to add another row of the little rickrack all the way around there. And then I got these little gingerbread guys at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to attach those all the way around this layer as well. And these had adhesive, so you could actually place set them, see where they needed to go, and then I went back in and glued them. Okay, then I'm just going to start adding things till I get all the way to the top. Now these little peppermints, I got those on Amazon as well, and I will give you the link for those also. They're really nice. They're kind of rubbery, but you could use these on a lot of things. And these are just some little pom-pom balls that I had. I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I'm going to put a little bit of rickrack on it, and I'm going to top it off with a peppermint. Okay, this one was pretty easy too, and it looks really cute next to the little gingerbread girl and the little gingerbread man. Let me know what you think in the comments. This next one, I'm using a Dollar Tree parfait glass, and I'm using some caramel colored paint, and I'm just going to mix it in a cup with some water. And I'm trying to get it to the consistency of Mod Podge. So just pour a little bit of water in there, and then I added a little bit too much water, so I had to come back in and add a little bit more paint. And then you go ahead and pour the whole thing down into your parfait glass. And then just start swirling it and then start tilting it to the bottom so that you can get it all the way to the very top. And then just clean any excess off the rim and the sides. Next, I'm going to take a 3-inch styrofoam ball. I'm going to set it down in my mug, and I'm just going to mark the ledge of it. I'm just going all the way around it with a pencil. And then when I actually cut it with my knife, I'm going to cut above the pencil so you have a little bit of overhang onto your mug. And then we're just going to glue it right to the top part of our mug. You want it overhanging a little bit. You don't want it just stuck down inside of there. Okay, next I'm going to use some spackling. It's called Fast and Final, and a 2-inch flower tip. And I'm just going to put some spackling inside of my piping bag so I can go ahead and create my latte. You want a big enough piping tip that you can get it through there pretty quick. And I'm just going to set that down into a glass and open it up to kind of make it a little bit easier to fill it up. But you want to go ahead and put a lot of it in there. Any excess you can put back into your container. And then I'm just going to tie the top of it off with a rubber band. Okay, then I'm just going to turn to the side. I'm just going to make squeeze and pull forward, squeeze, go forward, squeeze, go forward, all the way around. Just kind of keep a consistency that's even all the way as you're going around. But I'm just kind of pushing it forward as I push it out of there. And then stop when you get to the end. And then we're going to go up to the top and we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to kind of get it at an angle here so you can see. Just kind of squeezing it and pushing it, squeezing it and pushing it all the way till you get to the very top. And then here's a quick side view just to kind of show you how to do it too, if you couldn't see from the top. Okay, next I'm just going to take a paper straw and I'm going to cut 2 short straws out of it just to stick on both sides. Then I'm taking the little gingerbread guys that I got at Hobby Lobby and I'm going to put 1 on each side. And then my little peppermints that I got and I showed you earlier, I'm just going to kind of randomly put on the sides and the top. And you could put anything you want. You could even put real sprinkles on here if you wanted to. And then I got some more sprinkles, and I got those on Amazon as well. And they're just little white and brown sprinkles and some smaller peppermints. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it over the top. And then I'm going to put some diamond dust, sprinkle it on top, and then I'm going to mix up some caramel. Okay, for the caramel sauce, I'm using a glossy Mod Podge. I'm just going to put it like a little popsicle stick worth in there. And then I'm going to use some Apple Barrel Classic Caramel paint and mix it in there together. And this is going to be for the caramel sauce. Just cut the very tip of a little piping bag off and then go ahead and put your paint into the bag. And it would have been a lot easier just to put it into a cup and then pour it in like I did the frosting. And just go ahead and push it all the way down to the bottom. And then we're just going to drizzle this right over the top part of that spackling. Just kind of drizzle it like you would if you were to make a sundae or something and put the chocolate sauce. And just kind of let it flow down in the front a little bit too. Great for the holidays. They're very festive. They would look so cute with a hot chocolate bar to kind of decorate it up a little bit. Let me know what you think in the comments. This next one, I'm just using some gingerbread colored air dry clay and a gingerbread cookie cutter. And I'm just going to roll these out and then I'm going to decorate them. And I'm making 3 of these because I'm going to put them on a little plate together. And don't roll it out too thin because you still want it to be thick like a cookie. And then just cut it out. And then we're just going to start adding the decorations here in a second. This one is a super easy and quick project, and you could actually make these for ornaments for a tree if you got the gingerbread theme going. These really did dry nice, and they looked good. Okay, next just kind of gently try to push it out of the cookie cutter. And then I'm going to take a paintbrush, and I'm just going to go ahead and start dabbing it on top. Now this is a chip brush, so it's got real fine, hard bristles. Just trying to give it a little bit of texture to make it look like a cookie. Then I'm going to take some white air dry clay, and I'm going to start making his face. Just roll it up in a little bitty ball for his eyes. And then I'm just using a little acrylic board just to mash these down once I get them in place. It's just a little stamping pad that you can get. And then just mash them down a little bit. It just kind of locks them in. And then go ahead and do the same thing with the mouth. We're just going to roll a little log out, and we're just going to give him a little smile. And then flatten that out as well. And you're not completely flattening it out, you're just pushing it in. Then I'm going to start giving him his little rickrack look around the arms and the legs. Just kind of rolling it out pretty thin. And then just kind of zigzag them. And do the same thing for the other leg and the two arms. And I'm going to give him 3 little buttons right down the front. All right, there's a little gingerbread cookie. Pretty easy. Super easy to make. They would even make good packaging tags if you wanted to put them on a package. But pairing them up with the gingerbread latte, it did look good together. Let me know what you think in the comments. This last one, I'm going to take that same pattern that we made the gingerbread men with, and I bought this little kit on Amazon, and it's a cookie cutter making kit, and it just comes with this 1-inch wide wire, and it molds real easy. All you got to do is just bend it with your hands. You doesn't take any special tools or anything like that. Just bend it to shape with your hands. And this is going to be a 20-inch gingerbread cookie cutter. And just go along the lines of the pattern that you made the gingerbread men with, and then just go ahead and just curve it in the same shape. And you can make smaller ones or larger ones, whatever you like. But this is this little kit really was a good little kit. I think I'm gonna get it again for some other things. And then I'm taping down my pattern so it doesn't move around while I'm bending my wire. And it has the rolled edge on the front part just like a regular cookie cutter, so it's not sharp. And then once you get it bent all the way around, we're just going to use the 3M adhesive tape that they send with it to put it together. And you're just going to cut it off with some wire cutters. Okay, then just take the 3M adhesive tape, cut off a little piece, and then just attach the 2 pieces together, the 2 ends together. And I was a little skeptical at first whether that was going to hold, but it held so well. And then just kind of crimp it together a little bit there. Just kind of squeeze it together. And then I'm just going to take a piece of baker's twine and I'm going to tie it at the top to hang it. Take some ribbon, I'm just going to make a bow, and I'm just going to make a loop, under, make a loop over, keep going until I get it as full as I want it. And I want it to be pretty thick, so I'm going to add a lot of loops. And you're just alternating under on one and over on the other side. And then when I get to where I want it, I'm just going to take a piece of wire and put it right around the center and tie it off. And then I'm going to wrap a couple of loops around the center just to kind of fill it in, to cover up that wire. I'm just going to add it to the cookie cutter just on the side like it's a bow for a girl gingerbread lady. And then one of the cookies that I made earlier, I'm going to attach it right to the hand. That's a 20-inch cookie cutter. I'm going to just hang that in my kitchen. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think it turned out super cute. And just to recap what I made today, here's my little gingerbread man. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like. If you want to see future videos, be sure and subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when I have future videos. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Okay, and don't forget to jump on over to the Holly Jolly Christmas collaboration and check out Linda, Wendy, and Emily. I think you'll really enjoy their videos.